You guys know me. I'm your boy, Fado fucking Mephisto. Bloody fucking blah. Welcome to another episode of my Fado Plays. And today, since we pretty much basically in the last episode explored what this game, fucking at least in the early access form, has to offer, today I want to spend some time in the actual tutorial, man. I want to learn this fucking game, dude. Like, this game is something special, man. Something special, man. It's fucking crazy. Alright, just give me a sec, man. Just, want to get this link over there to, Big Money, because I promised him that I would message him when I went live, so. Hopefully my chat is not fucking bugged. Alright. Alright, almost done, guys. Almost done. Sorry, just one more person I just gotta send this to, and then we're good to go. Sup there, Sam? How you doing, man? Sup, Fado? I'm not creative at all, but I love seeing what people can. Yo, dude, I'm telling you, man. That's why I want to learn this game, dude. That's why I definitely want to learn this stuff, man. Because, like, right before I went live, I was messing around with the character creation stuff, man, the things you could do in that. And there were a couple elements that he talked about in the tutorial that I haven't been through yet. So that's why I'm doing all this crap. I know this is probably going to be a boring stream, but I need to learn this game, dude.
Something Cuthbert hasn't quite got the hang of. Connectors join objects together in a way that lets them move. We're going to use them to help Connie get to Cuthbert. First things first, though, we need to be precise when using connectors, so let's turn on the grid snap guide. That way, everything will line up properly. So, go to the assembly menu and open the guides section. Now select the grid icon with the X button. Now that grid snap is on, any objects you move and tools you use will snap in line with the grid in the scene.
Oh, good shit.
You can adjust how fine the grid is using the plus and minus icons on the button. But for this tutorial, it's best if you leave the grid size at 1. Now, let's see how we can make our way to Cuthbert. The best way to find out what needs to be connected is to play the scene and see for ourselves. But instead of switching over to play mode, we can start time in edit mode by clicking R3. Aha! Well, this is odd. The bridge has fallen down, but the second platform is still floating.
Let me just pause this real quick so I can read your post there, Sam. I saw a few videos of someone in the beta, and the levels fucking they come up with were amazing, dude. I know, right? I haven't really been paying too much attention to a lot of the stuff that people have been making in this game. Not that I didn't want to play it. Fuck no, dude. Because I wanted to go into this game like more surprised than I was at how things you could build in Little Big Planet. And fucking A, dude. Like, this game is incredible, man.
Floating in place. Why is one object floating while the other is falling? Click L3 to rewind time. Let's check the bridge's tweak menu. Remember, tweak menus allow us to see and change the settings for objects in edit mode.
Agreed.
Hover
Agreed.
your imp over the bridge, hold L1 and press the square button to open its tweak menu. Tweak menus differ depending on what sort of object you're tweaking. The bridge is a sculpture. Sculptures are pretty complex things, and their tweak menus have lots of pages. To switch pages, use your imp to select the different tabs at the top.
Hey, look at this,
We'll
man.
find something on the physical properties page to tell us why the bridge is falling down. Its icon is a Newton's cradle, like one of those desk ornaments
What's up,
where
Matty?
metal balls bash into each other. Select it with X. This page contains the sculpture's physical properties and attributes. There are lots of buttons and sliders here, but the one we're interested in is the top one. Aha! I thought so. Someone's gone and switched on the movable option. Okay, I admit it. It was me. Well, it wouldn't be much of an adventure if Connie could just stroll across the bridge, would it? Making something movable means it becomes physical. That means that forces in the scene, like collisions, the imp, or in this case gravity, can move it. Luckily, we can stop the bridge from falling down by adding a connector to it, which is exactly what we'll do in the next step, once you're ready to move on.
Alright, I'm ready to move on, bitch. Hold on, before I do that, wouldn't it be cool as hell if you use this game to find the next devs for their fucking studios? That would be interesting. That would be really fucking interesting. What's up, Cora?
So, all we need to keep the bridge from falling is a piece of string. Not just any piece of string, though. It's what we in the dream shaping business call a string connector. We'll need to attach the other end to something unmovable, like the blue cylinder above the bridge. Start by moving your imp with the left and right sticks, until you can see the top of the bridge and the bottom of the blue cylinder. Make sure time is rewound. Click L3 if it isn't. Now open the assembly menu, and select the 3 connected squares to open the gadgets menu. Look for the button with the joint icon, which will take you to the connectors sub-menu. You can move the menu with your imp by grabbing it with R2. Select the string button. Its icon is the 2 circles connected by a wavy line. You'll see that a string connector appears on the tip of your imp. Now let's get connecting. You should always make the first connection from the object that won't move. We call this the parent object. In this case, it's the blue cylinder, but it could be something else, like the frame of a door. See the yellow dot on the cylinder? I put that there to show the best place for a connection. So hover over it and press R2 or X to connect the string.
Okay.
The grid snap guide will help you line it up exactly with the yellow spot. When you move your imp now, you'll notice it's tethered to the cylinder. It also has a blue gizmo on the end of it.
Gizmo.
Now
Jesus
let's
Christ.
stretch that string down to the bridge, all the way to the blue dot. The blue gizmo connects the string to the movable object, which we call the child object. Hover over the blue dot. See how the grid snaps it into line? Let's connect the string there with R2 or X. If your bridge
Self-explanatory
isn't
shit.
just make sure that time is rewound. Now that the blue gizmo is connected, you can press the circle button to unequip the string connector from your imp.
What's up, Cora?
And
What's up,
there you
Fatal?
have it. The cylinder and the bridge are connected. Click R3 to start time and check that it's working.
Oh god, it's a new console OS update.
Well, it looks a bit wobbly, but it's nothing Connie can't handle. Switch over to play mode and have a go.
Yeah, fucking string.
When you can get Connie across the bridge to the second platform, return to edit mode and rewind time with L3.
Alright.
Time to get Connie over to the third platform. So, the small pink platform and the blue step aren't much use to her right now. But if we make the platform move backwards and forwards, she can hop onto it and cross over. To do that, we'll need a connector called a piston. Go to the assembly menu, then the gadgets menu. You'll find the piston in the connectors section.
Oops.
It's somewhere near the middle and looks like, well, a piston. Now that it's equipped on your imp, you can start connecting. First, press R2 or X to join it to the blue step, which is unmovable, so it's the parent object. I've put a yellow dot on it to show you the best place to connect it. Next, connect the blue end to the child object, which is the floating platform. See how grid snap keeps the connector perfectly straight? Hover over the blue dot, then press R2 or X.
Yeah. D.
Remember, the child object is the part that needs to be able to move. So when you join a connector to its child,
What's up, Garuda?
that object will automatically become movable. When you've placed the piston, press circle to unequip it.
What's up, Jamal?
Click R3 to test the connector. That's more like it. The piston is now moving the platform back and forth. Rewind time with L3. Now Connie might not be too happy if we make her jump on that. So let's calm the piston down a bit. First, open the piston's tweak menu. Hover anywhere over it, hold L1 and press square. If the tweak menu blocks your view of the piston, you can grab it and move it with R2. This white gizmo shows the maximum length and speed of the piston.
Oh, wow.
You can change the speed by adjusting the slider with the clock icon. That's the cycles per minute. Grab the slider by holding X over it with your imp and reduce the value. The further to the left you move, the faster the number will change. It doesn't need to be exact. Somewhere around 15 should do it. But if you want to get a more precise number, you can adjust the slider with the up and down directional buttons instead. Notice how it's slowed down now. Click R3 to see it moving the platform.
There you go, that's better.
When you're happy with the speed, close the tweak menu with the close button, or use L1 and circle. Then rewind time with L3. Time to switch over to play mode and test out the scene so far. Make sure the platform isn't moving too fast for Connie to jump on. You can always go back to edit mode and tweak the piston until you're happy with it. Once Connie has made it all the way across, rewind time in edit mode and move on to the next step.
This game is fucking incredible, dude. Holy fuck, dude. Make her jump on that sounds like a fun time with at a titty bar. Yeah, for the most part, right?
Alright, there's just one more gap for Connie to cross. We have a plank and a step to attach it to. For the plank to drop down, we'll need it to pivot like a hinge, which means we'll need to use a bolt connector this time. Go into the connectors section in the assembly menu. Select the icon with the nut on it. That's the bolt connector. Now you can connect it just like you did with the string and the piston. And because I'm so nice, I've placed some yellow and blue dots and a sneaky new purple one so that you can see where to make the connections. They're quite close together this time, so move in closer for a good view. Remember, you can use the grab cam on the R1 button to zoom in close. As always, connect the parent object first, the yellow dot. Then you can connect the child object, the blue dot. The grid snap will keep the bolt in a straight line, so you don't have to worry about it. Once it's all connected, you can unequip the bolt connector using the circle button. You've probably noticed that there's a purple gizmo halfway along the bolt. That's the pivot which the bolt rotates around. Click R3 to see how it all works. Well, that's not right. It looks like we'll need to reposition the pivot to get the plank moving correctly. Click L3 to rewind time and reset the plank. Now go ahead and grab the purple gizmo with R2. Move it so it's by the purple dot. While you're grabbing the pivot gizmo with R2, press triangle to align it to the grid. Now grab it with L2 and use the sticks to rotate it so its axis goes through the bottom of the plank.
Wait, what?
The grid snap guide will help you line it up exactly. The child object, in this case the plank, will rotate around that axis. Once it's all lined up, switch over to play mode to test it out.
Ah, there we go.
If you've done it correctly, the plank should balance upright. Connie will need to push the plank down, unless, of course, the plank isn't long enough. Oh well, switch back to edit mode and
let me back that up.
Upright. Once it's all lined up, switch over to play mode. Guide will help you line it up exactly. Align it to the grid. Now grab it with L2 and use the sticks to rotate it so its axis goes through the bottom of the plank. The grid snap guide will help you line it up exactly. The child object, in this case the plank, will rotate around that axis. Once it's all lined up, switch over to play mode to test it out. If you've done it correctly, the plank should balance upright. Connie will need to push the plank down, unless, of course, the plank isn't long enough. Oh well, switch back to edit mode and rewind time.
That's pretty fucking cool, man. That a rotation can change how a bridge fucking works, dude. That's fucking incredible, man.
To make sure Connie reaches the last platform, we could always make the plank longer, but that's a completely different tutorial. Instead, let's try restricting the bolt's movement. We can do that by giving it an angle limit. First, you'll need to bring up the bolt's tweak menu. So hover over any part of the bolt, hold L1 and press square. You should see the Use Limits button about halfway down. Select it with X. And look at that. 3 handles have appeared. 2 pale yellow ones and a longer pale blue one. The yellow ones set the range of movement, which is represented by the transparent arc between them. We need to move one of these yellow handles so it's just a little bit left of vertical. It should look like an 11 o'clock position. Now move the other yellow handle to a 3 o'clock position. If your handle doesn't line up exactly, just press triangle while you're grabbing it. This will realign the handle to the grid. The blue handle represents the position of the child object, so you need to line it up with the plank in the 12 o'clock position. Press triangle to realign the handle to the grid if necessary. You can close the tweak menu now and head into play mode to test the scene.
I don't think I got that right, but whatever.
If everything's working correctly, Connie should be able to reach Cuthbert. And if you feel like experimenting, you can try out some other connector types. See what you can come up with.
No, that's close enough.
Then,
It's
when you're
close
done
enough.
editing the scene, go through the door in play mode to finish this tutorial.
That's what she said. Fucking Garuda.
Are you ready to get those creative juices flowing? This tutorial's all about making your creations beautiful. Now, this is Connie's front garden. But what's this? It's had all the colour, style and magic sucked out of it. But not to worry, Connie. We can help make the garden pretty again with the power of dreams. Just to start you off, all the lighting's already done. We can learn more about that later. And because I'm ever your servant, I've also grouped some of these objects just for you. It'll make editing them quicker and easier. So what does the garden need? Well, it could do with some colour, texture and movement. Luckily, the coat, style and effects modes are the perfect tools to do that. They don't create new objects. They modify existing sculptures and paintings. And they work on groups. With just a little practice, you can become a master of them all.
Right.
Let's start by adding some colour with the tint tool. Open the assembly menu with the square button and go to the modes menu. Each mode has its own set of tools and options. The tint tool is in coat mode. It has an icon that looks like a pot of paint being spilled. Select it by pressing the X button.
Okay.
As you can see, the assembly menu has now been replaced with the coat menu. In the top row, you'll find options and helpers.
Yeah, what's up,
Along
players?
the bottom, you'll find the tools. Now, which colour to use? Open the colours menu in the top row of icons. These are colour groups. You can expand a colour group with X. Each group contains more shades that you can choose from. I'm going to find a green for the foliage, but if green's not your thing, you can experiment. Is the menu too long? You can scroll it by grabbing it with R2.
Okay.
Pick a shade, or if you fancy a more painterly or organic look, choose the tumbler colour at the end of the group. That will apply a random shade that changes as you work. When you've
Interesting.
chosen a colour, you're ready to go to the next step.
Alright, I got my fucking color. Let's go.
To add colour to our scene, we'll use the tint tool, which has an icon like an airbrush. You can manually select it in the tools menu. But in coat mode, choosing a colour from the colours menu equips the tint tool automatically. See the airbrush icon on the tip of your imp.
Yeah. I see it on the tip of my
The
dick.
tint
I mean, you
tool
know, on my imp.
colours objects, either tinting or completely covering their original colour. Just press and hold R2 to tint the objects at the tip of your imp. No need to select or scope into anything. The rounded clumps look a bit dreary in this scene. Let's add some colour. You can see that the longer you hold R2, the stronger the tint gets. And with a tumbler colour selected, it will cycle through different shades. If you make a mistake, you can undo using the left directional button. Or set your tool to subtract and you can detint. How do you do that? If you press triangle while the tool is active, your imp will change to an outline. So now it will remove tint instead of adding it.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
That works on pretty much all of the coat, style and effects tools. Just press triangle when they're equipped to make them subtractive. Try removing some colour using subtractive tint now. Just hold R2 over the object. And to make the tool additive again, press triangle.
That's fucking
Now
cool,
you've
man.
got to grips with that, you can colour in the whole scene with the tint tool. Go wild. Use different colours to tint the path, rocks, river, grass, trees, and the little cottage.
But what if I don't want to?
The colours menu has all the colours you need. Just
What if I don't
open the
want to,
colour group
bitch?
and pick a shade, or the tumbler colour. Take some time to colour your scene. When you're done, move on to the next step.
Make a black path. I don't give a fuck, dude. You know, the shit that you can do in this game is fucking ridiculous, man. Keep those the way that they are. Hey, where's the brown color? Ah. This is what I'm looking for right here. There we go. I want it to be lighter. I guess that works. I guess. There we go. There's some rocks over here. There's some rocks over here. Nope, we gotta zoom out. Okay. Where the hell's the gray button? There it is. There we go. It's coming along. It's coming along. There we go. All right, next spot. Hold on. Let me see. Let me read the chat. I'm about to pass out. Catch you later. Need some sleep. Later, Garuda.
Good job. Now your scene is beautifully coloured in, let's add some texture to it. For that, we need to leave coat mode
What's up,
and go
Fernando?
to style mode. To leave a mode, select the exit button in the top right of the screen. Or you can use a shortcut. Hold L1 and press circle. Just like scoping out of a group.
Oh shit,
Now
give me a
use the
sec.
modes menu.
Hold on. There's something I forgot to do. I forgot to change fucking the bitch's house. I'll make her roof, you know what? I'll make her roof fucking red. Why not, right? There we go. Much better.
To switch over to style mode. The style mode icon is an S-shaped brushstroke. All sculptures and paintings in Dreams are made up of flecks, and style mode is where we manipulate them. For example, notice how the objects in this scene look smooth. That's because their flecks are small and tightly packed together. We can make them more textured with the looseness tool. Select the looseness tool. It looks like a blurry circle. Now try using R2 to loosen some of
How
the
good is this game, Fernando? It's
Don't
fucking
forget-
incredible. Oh, holy
As you
crap.
can see, loosening sculptures and paintings means their flecks become more obvious. If you think they're getting too loose, press triangle to make the tool subtractive and tighten them up again with R2. Or you can just use the left directional button to undo.
That's fucking... Look at this, man.
Don't forget to loosen up the river too. We'll need it in the following steps.
Oh, that's a river?
Carry on loosening the objects in
Oh.
the scene. When you're happy, proceed to the next step.
I had no idea that was a river. Whoops. Give me a sec. No. There we go. I can change that real quick. Blue. There we go. That should be better. Wait. That shit's crazy, man. Like, to do this kind of shit, like, is ridiculous, man. Whoa. Look at that, man. That's beautiful, man. All right.
Wonderful. Connie's garden looks like a lovely painting. Let's look at the water now. Water has a reflective quality, so let's add some shine to the river. This is where the finish tool comes in. Exit out of style mode with L1 and circle and head back into coat mode in the modes menu. Next to the colors menu in coat mode, you'll find the finishes menu. Select it with X. These finishes change the way objects react to light in your scene. Using finishes, you can make objects shiny, rough, metallic, or even translucent.
Wow, okay.
Now you can choose your finish for the river. Let's see. Ah, yes. How about shiny wax? Wax finishes are translucent, and the shine will give the river a reflective surface that will catch the light. Apply the finishes before using R2. Remember that you can revert your changes by switching to subtractive mode with triangle, or by using undo.
Alright.
Testing the finish on other groups and objects in the scene. Continue to the next step when you're ready.
Player says, okay, I was in the Dreams beta, so some of the tutorial videos wasn't working, and did they fix that in this plus added to a story? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. Oh yeah, okay, so you can see it right there, like, see how, like, the glass, like, oh wow, that's fucking cool, dude. Ah, this game, dude. Like, I love it.
Our river looks nice and shiny now, but something's missing. It doesn't flow like water does. But there's a magical tool for that in effects mode.
Is there?
It's called the flow tool. Leave coat mode if you haven't already, and enter effects mode. The effects mode icon has some twinkly stars on it. Alongside the flow tool, you'll notice other animated effects that you can apply to sculptures or paintings. But for now,
God damn it.
we'll pick the flow tool. Its icon is a tap, or a faucet if you're from the US. Press X over the flow tool to select it.
Well, what about Canadians, you fucking
R2
dick?
to apply it to the river. Isn't that lovely? In effects mode, you can preview the flow effect even when time is paused. But if you leave effects mode, you'll need to click R3 to see the effects in action. When the river's flowing at the right speed, you may notice something a bit odd. It's flowing the wrong way. Let's fix that using another tool found in style mode, the comb tool.
The what?
Leave effects mode using L1 and circle, then go back into style mode via the modes menu. The comb tool icon is some wavy lines. Select it with X. Now we're going to make the river flow the correct way. How do we do that? You guessed it. Hold R2 to comb the flecks of the river so they go in the right direction. We're no longer in effects mode, so we can't see the flow effect animating. But just click R3 to start time, and you'll be able to see it again.
Oh, dude, that's fucking cool, man.
You'd like the flecks to flow. A bit like you're combing the river's hair. Very stylish. Let go of R2 when you're happy with the flow direction. And now you can see the river is going the correct way. But if it isn't, just undo and try again. When you're happy with the speed and direction of the river, click L3 to rewind time. Then it's off to the next step.
This fucking game, bro. Like, I swear to God, man. You know, this shit is fucking fascinating, man. That's why I dedicated this video to doing like nothing but tutorials, man. Because not only do I get to learn, but also at the same time, people that are watching get to see just how fucking like how deep this shit really is, man. Like, it's fucking crazy, bro. One sec.
This scene is really coming together. Next, let's do something interesting with the chimney smoke. Move
Okay.
closer to the smoke so you can see the flecks clearly. These
I keep forgetting
flecks
to do
don't
that.
look very smoky, do they? Let's change that. If you're not already in style mode, head there now using the modes menu.
Roger, roger.
Open the flex menu with X. It's the button in the center of the top row.
Whoa.
Now choose a fleck that looks smoky. How about the dots fleck? When you choose a fleck type, it'll automatically select the Apply Fleck tool. Now, hover your imp over the smoke and hold R2. The flecks will change. That's better. Let's inspect it now using the grab cam. Grab it with R1. And while you're grabbing, spin around it with the left or right stick. The paint strokes look a bit flat, don't they? You can only see them well from certain angles. We can make it a bit more billowy and three-dimensional using the Impasto tool.
I'm sorry, what?
In the Style menu, select the Impasto tool, then hold R2 to apply it to the smoke. Watch as the individual flecks of the painting become more three-dimensional. To see it better, use the grab cam to spin around the smoke again.
Look at this shit,
You
man.
can also press undo and
Yeah.
redo to compare the smoke with and without Impasto. Now that you've mastered Impasto, the last style tool we're going to use is the Ruffle tool. The Ruffle tool icon looks like a lot of lines going in different directions. It will randomly rotate the flecks so they're not as orderly. It works in the same way as the other two tools. Select it with X, then use R2 to apply it. And switch the tool to subtractive by pressing triangle. Ruffle makes quite a difference, doesn't it? Why not see if you can animate the smoke using the flow tool in effects mode? When you're happy, go to the next step of the tutorial.
Look at that. That's fucking dope.
Now that the scene is looking good, we should make Connie's cottage look more welcoming for her.
Okay.
We can do that using something called the glow tool. So head back to the modes menu and into coat mode. The glow tool has an icon that looks like a little sun. Select it with X, then move your view over to the cottage for a closer look. Now position your view so that you can see the door and the window of the cottage. Then hold R2 over the window in the door to make it glow. Go on, give it some welly. Whoa, that's too bright. Let's press triangle to make the tool subtractive, then use R2 to reduce the glow. Maybe you could try tinting the window to change the color of the light. See what you think.
Wait, what?
Have a play with the glow tool, and then move on to the next step when you're ready.
Made it look blue. Fuck it, I'm keeping it that color. But there's one other thing I do gotta do though. Where the fuck is my grays? There we are. Oops. Okay, there we go.
The scene looks so alive now, and Connie's in love with her new home. It's hard to believe that this scene used to be all grey and blocky. Let's try something. How different did we actually make it? To see, we can use a special trick. Press square to open the menu, and then take a look in the Show Hide section. The Show Hide icon looks like an open eye. It can be found in most of the mode's menus. In the Show Hide menu, you can make all sorts of different objects visible or invisible. It only works in edit mode, so your scene will still look the same in play mode. Some of them are on by default, and some are switched off. Coat, Style and Effects is one of the options which is on by default. Its icon is a combination of the icons for all three of those modes. Try turning it off by pressing X over it.
Wow.
Wow, what an amazing difference. That shows you how powerful these tools really are. Using Coat, Style and Effects, you can make even the most boring block come alive. Practice using the tools and see what you can come up with. When you're finished, go to play mode in the options menu and walk Connie into her beautiful new home. This will complete the tutorial.
That's actually fucking dope, dude, man. Man, this shit is fucking wild, man.
When things don't sound the way they should, it can ruin the experience of playing. Don't worry, Cuthbert. The Dreamiverse contains heaps of ready-made sounds for us to use. First, let's switch over to play mode and see how it all sounds at the moment. Quiet, isn't it? Doesn't feel quite right. In fact, it's creeping me out. So let's head back into edit mode. Switch over to sound mode so we can start adding some sounds. Find the modes menu. It's inside the assembly menu. As you can see, there are lots of different modes. Each has its own set of tools for doing different things. We're currently in assembly mode. If you select the speaker symbol icon with X, we'll switch to sound mode. That's better. In the next step, we'll start adding sounds to the scene.
Yo, I can't wait though, man. Like, cause the more updates they come out with this game, dude, and this game's been in development for how long? A long time.
Start adding some background sounds. See the button with the magnifying glass in the sound menu?
Yep.
That's the search menu. Select it now to view the different types of sounds you can add. Now select the speaker button to search for sound effects. This is the Dreamiverse, where you can find all the wonderful stuff other dreamers have made. I've already set aside a collection of sound effects for you in here. That's what this collection is. It's bursting with different sound effects for you to play with. Select it with X to open it. I've arranged the sound effects into groups for you. To get a proper overview, use the right stick to zoom in and out of the collection. This group of sound effects are background sounds. You can hear a preview of each sound by hovering over them with your imp. Find something that fits the dreamy atmosphere of the scene. I rather like dream space. When you've found a sound you like, select it with X. The sound you selected now appears as a gadget on your imp.
Yeah.
You can stamp it into your scene with R2, any place you like.
Alright.
It doesn't matter where you put it, because background sounds can be heard everywhere in a scene. Now let's start time with R3 and see how it all sounds. Ah, that's better. Notice how much more alive the scene feels with just that one sound. Imagine how it will feel with even more sound effects. But there's no need to imagine it. You can start adding more now to create a layered and unique ambience. If you want to replace a sound effect, just stamp a different one over it. When you've got things sounding just how you want them, rewind time with L3 and move on to the next step.
In what way is this a game exactly? I'll show you in a second there, Smooth, after this tutorial's done, if you're still in here.
Background sounds really help to create an immersive atmosphere. But to add sound to a specific object in the scene, you need to use what we call a spot sound. Let's try it out on the fire between the platforms. I'm sure we can find some fire sound effects in the collection. Let's take a look. Select Search Sound Effects from the Sound menu.
Whoa.
As we open the tutorial collection in the last step, it's still open when we come back to the Dreamiverse. Isn't that handy? Ah, just what we need. Some fire sound effects. Have a listen to some of the fire sounds and pick one you like. Once you've selected it, your imp will be equipped with a spot sound effect. See those rings coming off the gadget? That's the sound's fade zone. The rings show you how the sound fades away as you move further from the source. Let's stamp that sound between the first two platforms. Put it above the fire and see what that sounds like. If you want to see the sound's fade zone, select the gadget with X. Click R3 to listen to the sound effect. You'll notice the sound gets louder the closer you get to it. Aha! You can almost feel that fire. Toasty.
Not really.
As you move away, out of the fade zone, it gets quieter, until eventually you can't hear it at all. You can press the circle button now to deselect the sound effect. Then click L3 to rewind the scene. If you're happy with your spot sound, move on to the next step.
Okay.
Things haven't been that tricky for Connie so far, but the next gap looks a bit too big, even with her mighty jumping skills. Let's fly over to that floating platform using the left and right sticks.
I'll explain there in a sec, Smooth, man. Just give me a second, dude. This tutorial's almost done.
Looks like there's a trigger zone attached to it.
Is there?
Why don't we switch over to play mode and see what it does?
Okay.
Well, will you look at that? It lights up the platform when Connie steps on it. Lovely.
Unless you're me, that can't stay on the fucking thing.
Though, if it made a sound as well. So let's switch back to edit mode and make that happen.
Okay.
I've got a feeling you can find something in the tutorial collection to use here. Go to the assembly menu and go back into sound mode. Now go to search and select search sound effects. Over here are some energy sound effects. Have a listen to a few. Pick a sound effect for your light up platform. I quite like the sound of Dream Terminal. See which one you like and select it with X. Now it's time to stamp it in the scene somewhere near the platform. In the next step, I'll show you how to trigger the sound effect.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can create games, you can create even like storylines and shit like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things you can do in this game, Smooth, like tons of shit you can do in this game. But I'll show you an example as soon as this tutorial is actually done. Tutorial game are in French. No, I think you can change the language, but don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure if you can or not.
Like this. But for the platform, we want the sound to be triggered by Connie. And for that to happen, we need to connect the sound effect to the same trigger zone that activates the glow. Move in closer to the platform using the left and right sticks. Take a good look at the trigger zone gadget. Do you see the output port that says detected when you hover over it?
Yeah.
That means it will trigger when it detects a possessed puppet like Connie. So all we need to do to make the sound effect activate when Connie's on the platform is connect the output to the sound effect. Let's do that now. When you select the detected port with R2 or X, you'll see your imp becomes tethered to the port by a wire. Gadgets communicate with each other using wires like this. You'll also notice that a power port has appeared on the bottom of the sound effect gadget. To connect the two gadgets, just hover over that power port and press R2 or X.
There we go.
Time to head into play mode to see how it sounds. When you're ready, switch back to edit mode and start the next step.
Almost done. 2 more parts left and then we're done.
I just realized something. We got so caught up with these sound effects, we forgot to add another platform for Connie. She must be getting impatient. Sort that out for her. The easiest thing to do would be to clone the platform. Remember how to do that? Just hover over it, hold L1, and press and hold R2. Once the clone has been created, let go of L1, move it to the right spot, then release R2 to place it down.
I don't even think that's even. Nope.
When you clone an object, any gadgets attached to it will
There
come along for the ride. So all you need to do now is to wire the trigger zone on the second platform to the sound effect.
Okay.
Or even better, grab a new sound effect from the collection, just for variety.
Fuck you, bitch.
It's up to you. Dream Shapers should always go with their instincts. Whatever you choose to do, move on to the next step when you're ready.
Alright. Is that too big of a gap? Okay, it's not. Wanted to make sure.
Alright, there's just one more gap for Connie to cross before she reaches the door. That pink cylinder would make
Yeah, Smooth, yeah. The tech in this game is fucking
down
immaculate, bro. What the
If
hell
you
is
take a
that?
closer look at
Oh,
it,
movement sensor.
You'll see there's a trigger zone and a movement sensor on it. They're not connected to anything right now. There's also a keyframe on the platform. I wonder what that does. Try selecting it with X to find out.
Whoa!
Just as I thought. It raises the cylinder, so Connie can use it to cross over. Press the circle button to deselect the keyframe. Looks like all we need to do is connect the cylinder's trigger zone to the keyframe, so it moves up when she gets close. And while we're doing that, why not add a sound effect to it as well? Let's jump back into the sound effects collection and see if there's anything appropriate in there. Down here we've got some mechanical sound effect loops. These are the perfect sound effects for any sort of machinery in a scene. We want something that would go well with a raising platform. I think I'll go for the heavy metal ratchet loop. That sounds good, right?
Nope.
Okay, now select the sound effect of your choice and stamp it near the pink cylinder with R2 or X. In the next step, I'll show you how to connect all of the gadgets.
Alright, let's do this. So I can get this done.
Now we just need to do a little bit of wiring to get everything working. Remember, the trigger zone will activate when it detects Connie, triggering the keyframe to raise the platform. Grab the detected output from the trigger zone with R2 or X. Then stretch the wire to the keyframe gadget and connect it to its power port with R2 or X.
Okay.
Now let's get the sound effect working. This will be triggered by the movement sensor. The movement sensor detects when the object it's attached to is moving. So when the platform starts rising, the movement sensor will send a signal from its output port. That's the output port on the right side of the movement sensor gadget. It's called velocity overall. Press R2 or X over the port to create a wire.
Okay.
You'll need to connect the other end of the wire to the sound effects power port.
Done.
Once that's done, switch over to play mode to test everything out.
Oh Jesus, barely made it over.
So much better. That sound effect really makes a big difference. There's even more you can do to bring this scene to life. See if you can add some sound to the water between the platforms. I think there might be some water sounds in the tutorial collection. Experiment with the different effects as much as you like and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, it's got multiplayer, but I think it's mainly for... I don't think it's online. I think it's just local, I think. Oh, man. But see, look at this, like, smooth, right? So you got, like, the sound stuff that I was doing. You got action and possession, recorders tutorial. You also got, like, character art tutorials, so you can, like, make your own character and stuff like that. Then you got, like, sculpture, like, advanced, intermediate, and beginner class stuff. Like, this shit is crazy, dude. So I got a bunch more crap in here. But, if you don't even want to actually, like, build anything, you can just basically go in here and just search for, like, random stuff, man. Like, to give you an example, like, somebody made this, right? You see? Somebody made that. Like, there's so many different things, man. Like, this one right here, like, somebody created this. Yeah, just more advanced. Yeah, it's more advanced. So you see what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of variety of things you can do. But not only that, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back out here. Not only can you do that, but you can also look for story-wise, right? So, for example, there was one that I saw in here that I was showing people yesterday that was kind of fucking creepy as shit. Pretty goddamn amazing. If I was this good with art, though, that's my downfall. Hey, don't feel bad, Smooth. I'm the same way too as well, brother. Man, I suck at art, dude. But this game is not that bad as far as like being able to want to create stuff like that and shit like that. No, yeah. You can create animations with characters. In fact, actually, that's the next tutorial that I got to do. Actually, is the animation stuff. This one here, I still got 2 more tutorials I gotta do on that one, but I'll do that later. That's motion controls. Oh no, I was going under all tutorials. Yeah, this right here.
It looks like Cuthbert is in a spot of bother. Connie needs our help to get across these platforms so she can rescue Cuthbert. So how about we add a little handmade animation to get her there?
Alright, whatever you say, bitch.
You don't need to go into play mode to see that Connie won't be able to make this jump. So let's animate that floating ledge down to her using an action recorder. Action recorders are super easy to use. Just stamp one in your scene, and it will record anything you move with the imp. And we mean anything. It'll even record you moving or tweaking gadgets. We'd better get going. Connie's getting really impatient. You know what cones are like.
Not really.
Go to the assembly menu. Press a square button if it's not already open. Then head to the animate menu. The animate icon is a clapperboard. That thing they use in movies before the director says action. Now you get to be the director, and you can use these tools and gadgets to animate objects. Select the action recorder, the icon with a film strip and a plus sign on it. You'll now have an action recorder gadget on your imp. Stamp it down, somewhere near the floating ledge. A progress bar will appear at the top of the screen, along with a button on the right. Also, your imp will turn red. This means you're ready to start recording. Don't worry, recording won't start until you begin moving or changing things. When you're ready, grab the floating ledge with R2. Move it slowly towards Connie using the motion sensor function or the sticks. You'll notice that the bar starts to fill, recording your every move.
Look at that! What?
Don't worry, it's not a time limit. The bar fills up as a visual indicator of something being recorded.
Well, that answers your question right there.
When you let go of R2, the recording will pause. If you move your view or use the grab cam, that won't be recorded. But if you've started time with R3, recording will continue when you let go of R2. That's why it's important to rewind or pause time before recording anything. That way, your action recorder only contains what you put into it. When you've finished recording, select the stop recording button in the context menu.
Oh, Jesus.
Or you can use the shortcut, L1 and circle button to exit the action recorder. Your imp will go back to normal to show that recording has stopped. Click R3 to play back your animation.
It's a little jittery, but I don't give a shit. That's actually dope, dude.
But practice makes perfect. Calibrating your imp can help when using the motion sensor function. Just hold your controller in a comfortable position, then hold the options button for a few seconds. In the next step, I'll show you how to edit a recorded animation. Anything you record is stored in the Action Recorder gadget. If you hover over the floating ledge, the Action Recorder will pulse. Select the Action Recorder with X, and dashed lines will appear on the objects animated with it. It'll also show the animation path. That's this dashed line. If you're not happy with your animation, redoing it is easy. First, rewind time with L3. Then hover over the Action Recorder gadget, hold L1 and press X. Now we can start recording again. Select the retake button in the context menu to replace the old animation. Now you can record a new one. Move the platform so it stops in front of Connie. You can undo actions you perform using the left directional button.
Oops.
It won't undo any time that has passed. So it's better to use the retake button to undo animations. Move the floating ledge from the upper platform down to Connie. Don't worry if the animation's too slow or too fast. We can fix that later. Make sure you press the stop recording button when you're done.
Yep, done.
Spend a little time practicing with the Action Recorder. In the next step, I'll show you how to tweak your animation.
Yo, this... Yeah, Stream's big plan on steroids. I agree. Hold on, before we get to the next part, let me go take a quick little piss. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Be right back. You know, I just thought of something there, players. I'm wondering if Media Molecule is going to actually put a multiplayer online component where you can actually work together with a friend or multiple friends to create like a project and shit. I think that will be fucking dope as shit. Alright, let's get back into this.
Another way to edit animations is to tweak them. Hold L1 and press the square button over the Action Recorder gadget to open its tweak menu. Here you can see all the tweaks for the Action Recorder. By default, the playback mode is set to loop, so it plays the animation over and over again. But you can set them to play once, sustain, or to ping pong. Once will play the whole animation just one time. Sustain will play the animation for as long as the Action Recorder has power. If it loses power, it will stop. Then it will continue from that point when it's powered again. Ping pong plays the animation forward once, and then plays it in reverse. Then forward, then backwards, and so on. That sounds like a good option for our floating ledge. Select ping pong with X. Click R3 to start time and play the animation. You can also change the animation's speed to make it slower or faster. Grab the slider with X and use your imp to change the speed. If you want to explore more of the action recorder tweaks, you can. If you hover over any button for a few seconds, a more info tip will explain what that tweak does. To close the tweak menu, just hold L1 and press the circle button anywhere over it. And of course, you can undo any changes you make by pressing the left directional button. Switch to play mode to test your changes.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
When you're ready, come back to edit mode and start the next step.
Alrighty, let's go.
Now that Connie's made it up to the higher platform,
hold on. Let me read this here. They should use this game to find the next creative devs for their studios. I agree, Sam. I agree. There has been multiplayer in all MM games, but mostly little stuff, but not teaming up to create stuff. Yeah, I think that would actually be pretty cool, man. You know what I mean?
Back down to the next one. First, rewind time with L3.
Already way ahead of
you,
you fucking
know about
douche.
Cloning objects, but do you know that you can clone their animations along with them? I'm sure you remember how to clone.
Yeah, I remember how to clone.
Just hold L1 and grab the ledge you animated with R2. Once you've made the clone, release L1, then move the ledge to the other side and release R2 to place it.
Oh, crap.
Not only did you clone the ledge, but you also cloned its animation.
Oh, did I?
Click R3 to start time. Now we just need to flip it so that it moves in the correct direction.
Ah, okay.
First, make sure you rewind time. Grab the platform with R2. Then click L3 to flip it horizontally. Depending on where you grab
it,
you might have to move it closer to the other platform after flipping. You may also need to realign it with triangle before releasing R2 to put it back down.
Oops.
Now click R3 to start time, and the platform should move in opposite directions.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Both animations are stored in the same action recorder. So if you retake or delete the action recorder, it will affect both animations. Now go into play mode and see if Connie can make it across both gaps. Switch back to edit mode when you're ready to move on.
Hell yeah. That's dope.
Now let's get Connie to Cuthbert and get them through the door, before Cuthbert has a total meltdown. I've placed a shiny helper.
Oh, okay.
Let's call it Cuthbot. That holds up the next platform, but it's not very animated at the moment. To get it to walk back and forth towards the exit, we need to use record possession. It allows you to possess puppets and record a performance with them.
Okay.
Open the assembly menu, then go to the animate menu. Select record possession. It's the button with the sock puppet icon. Your imp can now possess the puppets in the scene. In the context menu, you'll see the count-in button. When this is selected, you'll get a 3-second count-in before recording starts. Press R2 over the Cuthbot to possess the puppet and start the countdown. When the count reaches 0, the possession recorder begins recording. Unlike the action recorder, it records constantly. So time will be recorded even when the cube isn't moving. Walk the Cuthbot around the obstacles to the final platform. Pause for a moment, turn around, then walk back to where the Cuthbot started. Starting and ending at the same place
Oh.
will help to make the animation loop smoothly. Press the circle button to depossess. You'll notice that the recording pauses when you depossess. Select Stop Recording in the context menu to exit the possession recorder. Once you've stopped recording, click L3 to rewind time, then R3 to start time, and watch what you've recorded. In the last step, I'll show you how to edit the recorded possession.
That is fucking awesome, dude. I'm sorry, man. That is fucking awesome.
You may have noticed a possession recorder gadget has appeared next to the cuff bot.
Yep.
When you're using record possession, this gadget appears the moment you press the stop recording button. Select it with X to view the animation path.
It's a little bit wonky, like I'm drunk, but that's fine.
You edit and tweak the animation. Hold L1 and press X over the possession recorder to scope in and edit it. Just like the action recorder, you can choose to retake the animation by selecting the button in the context menu. To stop editing the possession recorder, select Stop Recording in the context menu. Or hold L1 and press the circle button to quickly scope out. You can also tweak the possession recorder with L1 and the square button.
Alright, what we got here?
Exactly the same options as the action recorder. Experiment with the recorder and the different tweak options. Remember, you can see more info about the tweak settings by hovering over them for a few seconds. Close the tweak menu by pressing L1 and the circle button anywhere over it. Once you're done editing, switch over to play mode to test out the completed scene.
No.
Then Connie can navigate to the last platform and help Cuthbert through the door to complete the tutorial.
Ah! I'll have to show you that fucking, players, you saw that fucking video that I uploaded last night, right? That shit was fun, dude. So that one was actually pretty fucking dope. That one's done. Sculpt tutorial, fucking, okay, that's with the motion controls. I don't give a fuck about that. Motion controls, I don't care about that. Here we go.
In this lesson, I'll show you how to sculpt your own objects from scratch, which will come in handy because Cuthbert's having a meltdown. Again. Fortunately, we can use the tools in sculpt mode to help get Connie to Cuthbert and escort him to safety.
Oops.
Go to the assembly menu. Press the square button to open it if it's closed, and select the modes menu with the X button. Select sculpt mode with X. Its icon has some 3D shapes on it.
Bleh.
Every time you enter sculpt mode from the modes menu, a new sculpture will be created. You'll also notice that when you're in sculpt mode, everything outside the sculpture will be blurred and grayed out. This is to help you focus on what you're creating. You can adjust visual feedback in your preferences, which you can find in the options menu. When you first enter sculpt mode, the shapes menu will open automatically and the smear shape tool will be equipped to your imp. Try smearing a shape now by holding R2 and moving your imp around.
Yeah.
It's great for making organic forms.
Pop.
Now that's out of your system, undo all of it by using the left directional button. By using this tool, we'll help Connie get across the first gap. Move your view a bit closer to the action, looking side on at the space between the platforms. Make sure you can see the platforms and that your imp can reach them. We want to build an organic structure for Connie to walk on, so let's pick an appropriate shape. Select one from the Shapes menu, and you'll see it on the end of your imp. Use the up and down directional buttons to scale it to an appropriate size. While you have a shape on your imp, you can use the grab cam to zoom in and out. Just hold R1 and use the left stick. Now position your imp next to the platform on one side of the gap. Then hold down R2 and use the motion sensor function or the left stick to smear your shape in the gap so that Connie can walk on it. If you want to have another go at it, just undo using the left directional button.
I think it looks alright. It looks like a deformed penis, but that's fine.
To press and let go of R2 as many times as you want. Each press will create a new edit within your sculpture.
Interesting.
Bear in mind that all the edits you make are part of a single sculpture, even if they aren't connected. This means that in assembly mode, they'll behave like a single object. Why not try out different shapes to see what works best? Try holding L2 as you sculpt, and use the left and right sticks to rotate the shape. Maybe try making something like a rock formation, or a tree trunk. The cool thing is,
I don't know what the fuck that is, but whatever, I'll take it.
They can be walked on by puppets like Connie immediately. When you want to try it out, switch to play mode in the options menu, and get Connie to walk around on your sculpture.
That's pretty cool, though. Yeah.
When you're happy to move on, go back to edit mode and proceed to the next step. What happens when we want to edit an existing sculpture?
Yeah, just rewatch the tutorial, yeah.
Let's investigate. When we went into play mode, we were taken out of sculpt mode. When you're in assembly mode, scope back into your sculpture. Hover over it with your imp, hold L1 and press X. It's just like scoping into a group. Have a go at it now. Now we're here, let's try editing the shapes you've already made. To move or rotate shapes, unequip the Smear Shape tool by pressing circle. This automatically equips the Move tool. You might notice most of the movement controls in Sculpt mode are the same as in Assembly mode. Grab and move shapes with R2, rotate them using L2 and the sticks, or the touchpad. You can hold L1 and move with R2 to clone your shapes, or scale them with the up and down buttons. You can even repeat clone. But unlike assembly mode, you can't select things with X in sculpt mode. Now try moving, rotating, and scaling your individual shapes. If you want to smear some shapes again, just go to the Sculpt Tools menu and select the Smear Shape tool. The icon is a row of intersecting squares. Now you can play around at sculpting with different shapes. Don't forget that you can undo and redo at any time.
You know, when you look at that from this perspective, it looks like fucking those little, like, you know, those canned hams that you can buy. That's what it looks like. Spam. That's what it looks like. It looks like fucking spam. Let's add some donuts.
If you accidentally scope out, you can scope back into your sculpture by hovering over it with your imp and pressing L1 and X.
That doesn't look anything like what I wanted it to be, but whatever. It's all good, though. It's all good, though.
In the next step, I'll show you how to color your sculpture.
In the next step? Okay. Hold on, I want to get my donuts going here. That still doesn't look anything like a fucking donut, but whatever. Fuck it. Doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be fucking perfect, but I'll take it. Where the hell am I going with this? Oh my god. Oh, I'm just doing the actual tutorials there, Big Money.
You've probably noticed
Doing
by now
something
that
called
all your
sculpturing or
sculptures
something
are
like that?
orange and
Sculpturing?
brown, like clay. That's the default color, but you can sculpt with any color you like.
Can you now?
If you're in assembly mode, hover over your sculpture with your imp, then hold L1 and press X to scope back into it.
Okay. Ah, color. Here we go.
Next, head to the colors section in the sculpt menu
Oh.
and press X over a color group to see the different shades. Choose a color, any one you like. And as if by magic, the shape on your imp is now the color you chose. Any new shapes you make will be that color, but
Interesting.
the old shapes are still brown.
But how do I make...
We can also color shapes after we've created them, using the spray paint tool.
Ah!
Go to the sculpt menu and open the tools section with X. Then select the spray paint tool, which has a spray can icon. Now your imp will have an outline of the current shape on its tip. Intersect the shape with your sculpture and you'll see the spray paint color appear on it.
Okay, that's pretty dope.
Hold R2 to apply the spray paint to the shapes. You can try out different colors and shapes to completely change the look of your sculpture. If you want to make it easier to keep your imp on the surface of the sculpture, you can use the Surface Snap guide.
Oh, can you?
You can find Surface Snap in the Sculpt Guides menu.
Ah!
Select it with X to turn it on.
Ah!
There's a guides menu in every mode, though not all guides are available everywhere.
Look at that!
You can
That's
also change
fucking
the finish of
sweet.
your sculpture using the Finishes menu. The Coat Style and Effects tutorial has more on finishes if you're curious. By now, you should have an organic looking form, and it will be whatever color your imagination conjured up. If you switched on Surface Snap, switch it off in the guides menu before continuing. Just select the
Roger.
button with X to turn it off. Then, when you're ready, proceed to the next step.
Okay. Fiddle, I want to get this game so bad, but I don't know. Okay, Big Money. When you go on the PSN store, right? I don't know if you can do both or not, but if you're on your PS4 right now, there's two things I want you to try real quick. Open up your web browser if you're on your PC or whatever the case may be, and type in Send Store. SEN space store. That'll take you to the PlayStation official website, like to the store page. I don't know why it's not showing up for you, because it's still there on my end, like on the store page for me. And then sign in with your PSN name or whatever the case would be on the website, and then just type in Dreams on the search bar and see if it shows up there. I don't know if it's like a territory thing or something like that. Like, I don't know, maybe like not many Canadians bought it or some shit. I don't know. But it should be there.
Shapes are creating one single sculpture, even if there's space between.
Oh, I didn't want to do that.
But you can also use the smear tool to remove from the sculpture instead of adding to it. To do that, we need to make the tool subtractive.
Oops.
Scope into your sculpture if you haven't already with L1 and X. When the smear shape tool is equipped to your imp, you can press triangle to make it subtractive. You'll notice that your imp turns into an outline. The shape on your imp becomes an outline too. You can now use the smear tool to cut into your sculpture. Try using different shapes to see what effect they have.
Got a little donut hole in there
Really
now.
cool effect.
Hey, that's pretty fucking cool.
Acting with a different colored shape on your
Oops.
imp. How good is that?
Like somebody took a fucking bite of a chocolate bar.
You can switch the tool between additive and subtractive by pressing triangle.
Sick is playing
Why not
Dreams too
play
as
around
well.
with the tools a bit and try to make a dramatic or interesting looking form?
I did. I made myself a chocolate
When
bar.
you're happy with its shape, go into play mode and see if you can get Connie across it.
I'm just not happy with the color, that's all.
If you need to edit it, just
I
come
need it to
back
be
to
brown,
edit mode
man.
via the options menu.
Let's go with
Don't
that color.
forget to scope back into your sculpture using L1 and X. When Connie has successfully
Oops.
crossed the first gap in play mode, switch back to edit mode, then go to the next step.
Not that. That. Doesn't even look like brown. Oh, I can resize it? Ah! That's better. That's much better. That does not even look like a chocolate bar. The fuck is that? It looks purple. That or I'm colorblind.
Smearing shapes can be a messy business. Sometimes you just want to create neat sculptures. Luckily, there are ways to do that. So go to the Assembly menu and select Sculpt in the Modes menu. This will create a new sculpture. Now let's practice sculpting an architectural structure over the second gap. To help us build a neater bridge, open the Guides section of the Sculpt menu. In Guides, switch on Grid Snap by pressing X over it. You'll see a number appear next to the button. That's how big the grid squares will be. You'll notice the white dotted grid in the scene. The spacing of the dots shows the tightness of the grid. They will change orientation depending on your point of view. We'll leave it on the default setting for now. You can experiment with it later. Now try making a colourful sculpture using the Smear and Move tools and the Colours menu. This'll just be a practice one, so don't spend too long on it. We'll delete it and make an even better one in a minute. You'll notice that it's much easier to keep your shapes neat and straight this time.
Ah, okay. Well, outside
That's
from
because
that.
Grid Snap is active. It makes your tools and objects snap to the grid. It also helps you rotate precisely. Try it out using L2 or the touchpad. With Grid Snap on, objects rotate 45 degrees at a time. You can rotate the shape on the end of your imp before you stamp it, or use the Move tool to rotate shapes that are already placed.
Cool.
When you're comfortable sculpting with Grid Snap, continue to the next step. If we want to make a super neat bridge, there's another guide we can use. If you're still in sculpt mode, scope out of it with L1 and circle. Once you're in assembly mode, delete your sculpture with triangle. Go to the Modes menu. Click the Sculpt Mode button to start a new sculpture. Now we're in sculpt mode, the Guides menu will have different options. Open the Guides menu and switch on the Mirror Guide. Don't worry about the two additional options. Let's investigate them later. Also, check that Grid Snap is still turned on. Now select the Smear tool in your chosen color and shape. The mirror guide will always center on the first shape you make. That's why we started a new sculpture. Now, move your view so you can see all of the second gap, and your imp can reach it. If you need to, use the grab cam to zoom out a little from the shape on your imp. Now stamp your first shape right in the center of the gap to enable the mirror guide.
Wait, what?
Then smear your shape from the center over to the edge of the gap where it meets the platform.
Oh.
You'll see that your sculpt is mirrored, so you only have to make half of the bridge, and it will be nice and symmetrical, leaving you to focus on making it fabulous.
Damn it, rotate.
Carry
There we
on
go.
sculpting and carving your bridge until
Hold on, let me
you're
back
happy.
this up.
Only have to make half of the bridge. Stamp your first shape right in the center of the gap to
Okay.
enable the mirror guide. Then smear your shape from the center over to the edge of the gap where it meets the platform. You'll see that your sculpt is mirrored, so you only have to make half of the bridge, and it will be nice and symmetrical.
Okay, that's pretty
leaving
cool.
you to focus on making it fabulous. Carry on sculpting and carving your bridge until you're happy. Test it in play mode. And when Connie is over the second gap, return to edit mode via the options menu. When you're back in edit mode, switch off the mirror guide. You can also switch off grid snap if you want, before moving on to the next step.
Ah. There we go. It's not a perfect bridge, but that's fine. I can live with that. Damn it, stop fucking rotating my blocks. Ah. No, I don't want to do that. There we go. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but fuck it, I don't care.
Now we need to create a bridge across the last gap. For that, we're going to use the mighty stamp tool.
Be mad.
First, we'll need to create a new sculpture by going to sculpt mode via the modes menu. Now that you're in sculpt mode, make sure you've switched off the mirror guide before you continue. You'll be equipped with the smear shape tool by default, so you'll need to switch to the stamp shape tool. You can find stamp shape in the sculpt mode tools menu, next to smear shape. Its icon is a simple square. You can quickly switch between the stamp and smear tools using L1 and triangle. It's a bit like switching between additive and subtractive, but with L1 held down. Stamping shapes is a bit like stamping objects from the Dreamiverse. With the Stamp Shape tool, you only stamp one shape at a time, no matter how long you hold R2 or X. This has additional benefits too, which you'll see later. Now select the cube in the Shapes menu, then stamp one at the side of the gap. We're almost there, Connie! Open the Sculpt Tools menu again, and this time pick the Stretch tool. Its icon is a double-ended arrow. When Stretch is selected, hovering your imp over a shape will cause an arrow gizmo to appear. Hover over the side of the cube that's facing the opposite platform. Press and hold R2 when the arrow is showing, and use your imp to stretch the shape across the gap.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Nice. Let go of R2 when you're done stretching. It's not a very exciting bridge right now, but I've got something great to customize it with soon. You can stretch any shape you've sculpted, regardless of what shape it is. Spheres, cones, and even donuts can be stretched.
Donuts.
You can even stretch subtractive shapes, but only at the points where they intersect with the sculpture. Have some fun with the stretch tool, but don't go to play mode just yet. When you're ready to take this bridge and your sculpting skills to the next level, continue to the final step. I've shown you a few ways to edit the shapes you've already sculpted.
There's nothing wrong with that there, Big Money.
There's also a way to edit the shape before stamping or smearing. First of all, make sure you're still scoped into the sculpture. If not, hover over the bridge, hold L1 and press X to scope in. Also, make sure that you're using the Stamp Shape tool and not the Smear Shape. Next, choose a shape from the Shapes menu and select what color you want it to be. Now move the new shape right next to the bridge so that they're touching. Use the grab cam to make sure the shape is in contact with your bridge.
Wait, I missed that. What?
Now hold L to scope in. Also, make sure that you're using the Stamp Shape tool and not the Smear Shape. Next, choose a shape from the Shapes menu and select what color you want it to be. Now move the new shape right next to the bridge so that they're touching. Use the grab cam to make sure the shape is in contact with your bridge. Now hold L1 and press square to open the shape editor, just like when you want to tweak something. When you're in the shape editor, you can let go of L1 and the shape will be fixed in place while editing. Notice the Sculpt menu has been replaced with the Shape Editor menu. The buttons vary a little depending on which tool and shape you're using. The Shape Editor for the Stamp tool has quite a few options. We're only interested in one for now, the most exciting one, Soft Blend. The icon is the one with the two circles blending together. If the option isn't there, just check that you have the Stamp Shape tool equipped and not Smear Shape. This is important. Next to the icon,
Not much, buddy. Not
there's
much.
a slider and a toggle button. Sliders in the Shape Editor are round, which may seem unusual.
Big Money, when I'm
They
done with this
work
tutorial, I'll
just
show
like
you some of the
sliders
cool
in tweak
things that people
menus.
have made in this shit, dude.
The Blend Amount slider affects how much the shape will blend with other shapes nearby. Try holding X on the slider and moving your imp up and down. This is how you get some truly amazing shapes.
Oh, wow.
The hard blend toggle switches between hard and soft blends. Toggle between the two options with X to see the difference it makes. To close the shape editor...
Oh, okay,
just
that's
press
pretty
circle.
cool.
Now have a play with your blendable shape. You can only blend shapes that are part of the same sculpture. So if you can't see any blending on your shape, scope into the sculpture with L1 and X. You can make some very cool shapes using blending. Try making subtractive blends too.
That's fucking awesome.
Experiment with different shapes and blends on your bridge. Make it really fancy.
I don't want to make a fancy bitch.
You can jump back into the shape editor with L1 and square. You can use the shape editor in any of the sculpting tools. Try using soft blend with the spray paint tool. To exit the shape editor and return to sculpting, just press circle. When you've got the hang of the shape editor and you're happy with your bridge, try it out in play mode and get Connie to Cuthbert.
Man, compared to his, mine looks so fucking
Take
bland.
Connie through the door to finish the tutorial.
Alright, so let's go to, we'll reset the tags. I'll do game, and then I'll sort by recommended, I guess. Or most thumbs up. That might work. Just to give you an idea there, Big Money Man, on some of the things you can do, right? So, like, now I've already played a couple of these on the last stream, so I'm just going to show you certain ones, man. Like, check this out. Somebody created fucking PT in fucking Dreams there, Big Money. You know PT there? Like, look at this. Like, look at this shit, man.
On a Sunday afternoon. The day of the crime, the father went to the trunk of his car, retrieved the rifle, and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him too.
So you got that kind of shit. No, forgot to thumbs that up. Then you have, you got games like this, where it's like a puzzle kind of game, where you have to match up, like, fucking, like, certain things in the book and shit like that. So, for example, fucking, like, this one here, right, as you can see, like, you gotta turn it so that it matches up the colors, and then you need to figure out the rest of the puzzle. I'm not gonna lie, that does look amazing. Right? Yo, I'm telling you, dude, like, the shit you can do in this game is fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, straight up ridiculous. So you got like that's just an example. Somebody created like a fucking like Guitar Hero clone and shit like that. What the hell? But you get the idea. You get the idea. I actually like that. It's kind of cool. But anyways, you got that. What else you got here? You got this shit too as well. This I had a fucking blast with this one.
What you looking at? What's up to you? Tell me that. Bish, bash, what you looking at? Tell me that. What you looking at? What's up to you? Tell me that.
There you go. You got that. Somebody created this, dude. Look at this shit. You see what I mean? Like, that shit's fucking crazy, dude. Like, the shit you can do in this game. Somebody created, like, something from Zelda in this shit, too, as well. But not only that, they're fucking big money. You can create music in this motherfucker as well, dude. What? Oh, whatever. But yeah, but somebody, fucking created, whatever you want to call it there, like created like a portal and shit like that. So that kind of stuff like that, I don't even know how the fuck that works, but I don't care. Pong. But on top of that too as well though, is that you could also, check this out. There's also stories. And you can have like little short stories and shit like that too, right? So like, there's one example that I was showing to everybody the other day, that I want to find again. I'd like to give you an example here. It's kind of a fucked up story, but it actually shows like a lot of the things that you could do in this game, man. Okay, maybe it wasn't under that. Was it under fucking feature, maybe? Unless the fucking shit got pulled. Set. It was in there before, but I guess it's not there anymore, I guess. Showcase. You could see like a bunch of different things. Like you could see like a gallery of things that people created. You could see like what do you call it there? Like there's so much shit you could do in this game, Big Money, man. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Look at this. Like somebody created a fucking music player. See? Like, that's fucking awesome, right? But as far as, like I was saying to you earlier about, like, the story stuff... Oh, recommended, I think. There we go. That's what I gotta look for. As far as short goes... Play through randomly selected testers. Okay, I don't care about that. There's one that I was showing everybody yesterday that was fucking weird, but it shows like a good example of like how like story elements can be done and shit like that. It was like the perfect video to show off, although it was creepy and nightmare inducing, but it wasn't actually all that bad. Let me go by feature maybe. Nope. That's weird. Because fucking the other day, most recent, maybe. I can't remember what the hell it was, but it was some weird ass shit, dude. And you got like this one here where you can like play as a dog. Somebody created a dog. Although his head doesn't want to stay on properly. That's kind of creepy, but whatever, you get the idea. You get the point, though. Oh, this one here, fucking, I think you might actually, no, not that one. There was another one that I saw that was kind of similar to that. Where was that one that I fucking was fucking around with the other day? That little pig one that I was playing with, man. That one was fucking awesome. Hold on. Okay, so how do I play this? Oh, V. You see how somebody created like that shit, man? Like, that's fucking dope, dude. I like that. No, there's a way that I could see fucking like my followers and shit. Oh, that's my preference. Never mind. Let me go to here. No, that's my background, by the way. Activities, my aura, latest imp quests. Oh, you can see all your imp quests on here. That's cool. So you can gain different things you can put in like your own little thing or whatever the case may be. Activity. Hold on. I know it's in here. Ah, here it is. This was the game that I was playing last night when I was doing the show with you. I will in a second there, Cam. Give me a second, dude. Not in the beta. I don't know if there's going to be a campaign to unlock. I would imagine there's probably going to be when the full game does come out. But this is what I was playing yesterday when I was doing the podcast. You get the idea. You get the idea. Alright, let me go back here. Did I just see? Whoa, 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 whoa! Wait a minute. Did I just see Sonic? Did I just see that right? Yes, I did see that right. What in the Marion motherfuck? You got Mises from fucking whatever you want to call it from Rick and Morty. That's awesome. Yeah, there's really no buttons at all in this shit, so that's weird. But whatever. I'll give him a like though. Yeah, right? Yeah, but you can create some amazing shit in this fucking game, dude. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, man. But here at the same time, though, I'll show you an example of, like, media molecule stuff, man. I'm not gonna make it. Oh my god, dude. That's fucking awesome. But you pretty much basically get the idea of like a lot of the things you can do. Now, and also in here, like you can browse like different collections and shit like that. I guess for like whatever you want to call it, you can like see collections. Like right here, for example, like if I want to, I can go to here and go to categories, and then I can go to music, and then I can pretty much basically like do like phases or loops, or I can go to track, and then I can search for different things that people created. Let's see what this guy has for video game music. See what I mean? Like, fucking awesome, dude. Now, another thing you can do is under collections, you can also search for, let's say, characters. And then basically just search around. You can see different things that people have created. Like, you see media molecule stuff, and then you got like, what the fuck did I just look at? Did I just see some fat ass bitch? Did I see that right? What the fuck is that? So you can also remix shit, which basically allows me to edit it myself if I want to. You know what I mean? That kind of cool crap. And then I can quick save it. I can go to play mode. I can go to my preference and change everything I want to as well. So if I go to quick save, then I can save it as a character, and then I can just name it fucking whatever, right? I can just name it like Fatty. And then there you go. Then it saves it to my creations. And then if I want to, I can go back to, not that, I can go back to my own little hub world, what the fuck you want to call it here. This thing. And then I can actually, if I want to, I can actually come into home space and I can actually, there's a way that you can add it. I'm just trying to figure out, like, fucking, how do I add it, though? No, it's a screenshot, whatever. Reset home space. Auto guides. No. I guess I can add it then, I guess. I'll have to look more into that. But anyways, you get the point. But let's go back into here real quick. I want to see what other stuff people created for, like, character wise. Like, holy fuck, what the hell is that? What the fuck? Where was that fucking fat motherfucker at? Somebody created Dexter. Oh my god. I want that character. I want that as my own fucking character. I want him. Damn it. Man. What the hell? That's fucking weird. But I give the guy a like for that one. Man, there's just so many things you could do, man. Like, that's fucked up looking, man. I don't even want to know what the fuck that is. That's creepy looking, man. And you got different pets in here. Let's go back to, not character-wise, but yeah, collections, and then I want to go to, hold up. So you can, like, you can even start fresh and even create your own fucking music, dude. Like, that shit's fucking dope, dude. I want to get into that, too. Because Sick was talking about how he made some fucking music and shit, too. What? Okay. Give me a second. What? That's awesome. I like that. I'm giving that a fucking thumbs up. Excuse me, goddamn. Oh, Jesus Christ. What? Not bad. I'll give that a thumbs. Oh my fucking god, big buddy.
I'm the operator with my pocket calculator.
Wait, what?
I'm the operator with my pocket calculator.
Oh god. Yo, get out of here. You know, people can use this big money, right, to make like shit from like Mario Paint, dude. That's fucking awesome. Giving that a thumbs up. Let's continue. Try to make your own zombie? Nice. Hell yeah, dude. And now the interesting thing too, right? Big money, if I wanted to, I can go all the way back here and I could start my own from scratch. If I only wanted to. And then here you have all these different options. Now I haven't done anything on the actual tutorials. You can see like your timeline and stuff, right? If you put that there. Then you have like, but here's another cool thing that I like about this. Is like under sound gadgets, you have different options, right? You got a voice channel, and then fucking you can do certain things with that. There's also a way that you can, I forget what it's called. Oh, I think it's this one right here. Yeah. So I can take this, right? And then I can sit there and I can do this. I can go to record, and then I can say some shit, and whatever the case may be. It's fucking dope, dude. Oh, what the hell? Oh, there we go. See, there's nothing in there right now. You see, like, there's nothing there? So I can take this. See? Right? And then I can sit there and I can do this. I can go to record. Like, I can re-record myself again and just basically like, yo, fuck you guys, right? No, whatever. And then stop the record, and then I can play it again. So I can take this, right? And then I can sit there and I can do this. I can go to record. Check us out there, Big Money. It's like, yo, what's up, bitches? Fuck y'all. So I can take this, right? Oh, hold on a minute. How do I restart it? Is there a way that I can restart this? Or maybe not. Oh, never mind. Shut up. Get out of here. But there's supposed to be like a, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I can delete that. Oops. Fuck y'all, bitch! Why does my thing not fucking stop there, dude? Like, that's so weird. Oh, well, whatever. Anyways, you get the idea. Put that there. I can click on that, and then I can hit the record button. There we go. I can stop that, I guess, if you want to do it that way. Bitch! But see, that's the problem. When you hit the record button, it goes away. I don't like that. I do not like that at all. But you get the idea. That you can do the same too as well for like sound effects and like instruments and vehicles and animations and fucking effects. Like fucking weird ass shit, dude. Which when I go back to like this here and I do like the actual like tutorial stuff, that's why there's like so many fucking things you have to go through, man. Like if you go under topics though, it just keeps everything neat and organized, and it tells you like how many of these things, right? So if I went to the auto tutorial, there's two parts. You can, like, arranging music tutorial, want to add another layer of emotion and atmosphere to your scene. How about adding some music? Blah, 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 blah. Here, you can create your own music track by arranging ready-made clips on a timeline. You got that. You have your art tutorial. They also give you, if you have the Move controllers there, Big Money, you could also use the Move controller tutorials, too, as well. Then you got the character creation, stuff like that, and whatever you want to call it. Then you have all the other ones too as well that are like in between that shit. There's the music one, you got the keyframes and whatever you want to call it, so that way you can make more complex animations and whatnot. You got the gameplay advanced stuff, move stuff, fucking whatever the case may be. You got so much fucking crap in this game, dude. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Yo, is Sick actually doing a podcast or is he playing this? I don't think he's doing a podcast. I think he's playing it, but I could be wrong. Then also under game scenes too, right? You can see like what people have created. You can see like a whole bunch of different shit. Yeah, he's playing Dreams. He's making his own music tracks and shit. Now, I don't know fucking, like, the stuff that you, like, take with you, like, as far as, like, your, like creations and stuff, outside from that, Like this here, you can edit, you can refine, you can view, or I can release. I can release this if I wanted to, which is like a remix version of it, but I'm not going to do that because it is what it is. I can take a photo of the character. I don't know how to fucking zoom. Oh, there we go. That's fucking scary. Like, look at that fucking face, dude. That's just creepy. But here's another cool thing. You can see, like, how it was created and stuff like that. It's a remix of that. Of, like, this thing right here. Somebody took this fucking figure and made fucking that motherfucker, dude. Like, that's crazy, right? But I don't know if, like, send to. Oh, you can add, like, player lists? This feature is only available for creations that are saved online. Oh, okay. You can also view it on the app, too, as well. You can send to somebody, or you can add to a collection. So I'll just put this in here, and I'll just be like, whatever. Tools. I can choose a background for it. No, I'm not going to do that. That's just fucking scary as shit. You can add notes and stuff like that. Update. Auto update. Oh, sorry, oops. So there you go. That thing should be there now. I have unsaved changes. Oh, quick save. There we go. I'll just call it that. Whatever. Fuck it. Why not, right? Now that I've created that, I'm wondering now if I can go back to the fucking thingamabobber, right? Wait. Hold on. Release version to the public. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Set icon, send to. I already got my collection already. Ah. Save this version to my PS4. Online is private or save and release. Okay, I can save this to my PS4. Save. So now what I want to know is if I go back to fucking, because I know there's a way that you can bring stuff into like your own world and whatever. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to fucking do that. Like to the home space editor. I don't think you can though. You just have like your stuff and you have all this crap too as well. Unless that's something that they haven't added yet. That's the only thing I could think of. They probably haven't added that functionality yet on how to add or bring stuff over to like whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. But you get the idea. But see, like in this, when you're in like this little hub world there, Big Money Man, like you can literally change different shit though too. Like you can add things that you unlock throughout the course of like the game and whatever the case may be. Which is why like when you go and you look at like your profile, and then where is it here? Fucking under here, latest imp quests. You can see fucking like what kind of quests that you need to do, right? Stamp 10 unique things into your home space. I got 3 out of 10 for that. So I can return to the home space, and then I can go up here. Not up there, sorry. I can go here. Not that. There's a way to... Oh, yeah, home space. Here we go. So say, for example, right? I got steps right here. So what I could do is before I do anything, I can actually come over here to auto grid. So that way fucking my shit can stay on here. Stamp one there. Stamp one there. Stamp one there. Because I had 3, right? So that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if I back out of that, I don't know if that counts. I think it has to be like a bunch of different things. Yeah, see, it has to be 10 different objects. It can't just be the same one. So that's pretty cool. So you can see which ones I started, right? So like polymath or something like that. This says complete 14 tutorials. I got 11 out of 14 done. And the more you unlock, the more shit you unlock. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong on that though. But see, it has like different little like you can get like different imps. You can get these ones here are the ones that you definitely want to finish first because you get like little things unlocked. Learning logic, there's one more tutorial that I need to learn for logic. And so that's what we're gonna do real quick. This one right here, and then I'll end my stream when I'm done with this one.
In this tutorial, you'll use logic to make health go up and go down. Oh, Cuthbert. Let's start by going into play mode. See if you can get Connie across that first gap. Oops. Sorry, Connie. I forgot to fix that. Don't worry though, even after falling such a long way, Connie's just fine. There's only one problem. There's no way for her to get back up. What we need is for Connie to respawn on a platform if she falls. So that's going to be our next job. First, switch back to edit mode. Remember to rewind time with L3 as we always do after play mode. In order to make Connie respawn, we're going to use a health modifier gadget. We'll use it to make the floor around the platforms lethal. Health modifiers can damage or heal anything that has a health manager. And, as luck would have it, Connie has one built into her logic. Go to the assembly menu. Open it with the square button if it's closed. Select the gadgets menu, the one with the 3 connected squares. You'll find the health modifier in the movers and output section, which is represented by a box with an arrow. Now select the button that has a clockwork heart on it. Your imp will now be equipped with a health modifier gadget. Stamp it somewhere central, near the floor, using R2 or X. Then unequip the gadget with circle. Your scene now has a health modifier, but to make it work as intended, we'll have to tweak it first. We'll do that in the next step.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and open the health modifiers tweak menu. Hover over it, hold L1 and press square. Here you can set the options for how the health modifier works. That includes how much health is modified, which is shown in the first slider. Right now, it's set to -100. This means it will take 100 health points away from anything it affects. Just enough to make Connie respawn. The modifier mode is set to per hit, so 100 health points will be taken away when anything touches it. But since we want the area around the platforms to be lethal, we need to set the modifier type to zone. Select the zone icon with X now, then go to the zone properties tab so we can change its size and shape. The icon is at the top of the menu and looks like a box in a zone. Look for the zone shape section of the menu, then select the cube. You can use the zone sliders to make the zone bigger. Be careful not to make it too tall. The respawn zone should be level with the pink lines around the platforms. If you need to, move the health modifier gadget nearer to the floor. When you hover over the edges of the zone, you'll see white arrow gizmos appear. Grabbing these with R2 will let you change the size of the zone. Using those, you can make sure the area around the platforms is covered. Now let's test it in play mode and see what happens.
Yeah.
Perfect. If Connie falls off now, she'll just respawn back on the platform. Before we move on, maybe we should do something about this booby-trapped bridge. Switch back to edit mode and rewind time with L3.
Alright, so let me pause this real quick. I want to make sure I did this right. Alright, cool.
See what's causing it? It's that trigger zone. When Connie activates it, the bridge collapses and there's no way across. If you've finished the first logic tutorial, you'll know that the counter is being used to remember the trigger zone has been activated. If you follow the wires, you'll see there's one connected to each block. These red dots on the blocks are not gadgets. They show that a wire is connected to a setting in the block's tweak menu. Explore the logic for yourself. Or, if you want to move on and get Connie on her way, just delete the trigger zone by pressing triangle over it. That'll prevent any of the logic from activating. Then, once Connie can safely make it to the second platform, move on to the next step. Now's probably a good time to show you how to add checkpoints. When playable characters like Connie activate a checkpoint, the scene remembers their progress. So when they respawn, they'll appear at the last checkpoint instead of starting off at the beginning. Go to the assembly menu, then the gadgets menu. If the last section you used is still open, close it by pressing circle over it. Expand the gameplay gear section with X, then select the checkpoint. It's the one that looks like a location marker. There. Now your imp is equipped with a checkpoint gadget. The direction of a checkpoint determines which way a character will face when he spawns. So make sure the front of the gadget, the side with the black outline, is facing the direction you want Connie to face. Remove the gadget from your imp with the circle button, then open the checkpoints tweak menu.
Okay.
Checkpoints use a detection zone, just like health modifiers. So select the zone size tab from the menu. This is set to a sphere by default, but to make sure it can't be missed, let's change it to a cube. You can use the zone size sliders to make the checkpoint cover the width of the platform. Above the gadget, you'll see a white move gizmo. Grab it with R2 to put the activation zone where you want it. Just make sure Connie can't miss it. The white handle shows the direction Connie will face when she respawns. Check that it's pointing the right way. Grab it with R2 if you need to adjust it.
Wait, do what?
Let's close that tweak menu with L1 and circle. Now try it out in play mode to see if the checkpoint remembers your progress. Sorry, Connie. We're gonna have to respawn you again. But try it out in play way. Just make sure Connie... Above the gadget, you'll see a white move gizmo. Grab it with R2 to put the activation zone where you want it. Just make sure Connie can't miss it. The white handle shows the direction Connie will face when she respawns. Check that it's pointing the right way. Grab it with R2 if you need to adjust it. Let's close that tweak menu with L1 and circle. Now try it out in play mode to see if the checkpoint remembers your progress. Sorry, Connie. We're gonna have to respawn you again. But it's all in the name of science, I promise. Great, there she is.
Nice.
Right at the checkpoint again. When you're ready, go back to edit mode. Rewind time.
You see what I'm talking about, Big Money, dude? Like, this shit is fucking nuts, dude.
This next bridge looks a bit too hot to walk on. But Connie's a tough explorer, and she's always ready for danger. So let's give it a go. Okay, that block's too big for Connie to jump over. Better get her back to safety before it's too late. Let's switch back to edit mode and see how the bridge is damaging Connie. Move closer to the bridge and keep an eye out for any gadgets attached to it. Ah, there's one. A clockwork heart icon, so it's another health modifier. It looks like, instead of using a zone, this one is attached to the bridge. So whenever Connie walks on it, she loses health. If only that block wasn't in the way, she could make it across. But what if the block itself could lose health? We could give it a health manager of its own and see how that works out. Go to the assembly menu, then open the gadgets menu. You may need to close the gameplay gear section if you opened it earlier. Then you can expand the movers and output section. Look for a heart icon, not the clockwork heart this time. Select it with X to give your imp a health manager gadget. Stamp one near the block with R2 or X, then press circle to unequip it from your imp. To make the health manager affect the block, we'll need to attach it. The easiest way to attach gadgets to objects is to use what we call surface snap. Grab the health manager with R2 and hold it over the block. All you have to do to activate surface snap is hold L1 while your imp holds the gadget. This makes it hug the surface of any object you hover over.
Oh!
Now release R2 to attach the gadget to the block.
Okay, excellent.
You can also let go of L1 to stop using surface snap. In the next step, I'll show you how to tweak this health manager.
Roger that.
Now that we've given the block health, let's take a closer look at it. Hover over the health manager, hold L1 and press square to open its tweak menu. The sliders here define the block's maximum and current health. Click R3 to play time, and you'll see the health starts to go down. That's because the bridge's health modifier is damaging it. But you'll notice it's going down much slower than Connie's health was when she was on the bridge. The reason for that is this health manager has a 1-second cooldown. So whenever the block takes damage, it's invulnerable for 1 second after that. Grab the cooldown slider with X and pull it to the left with your imp. So what happens when it reaches 0? Not a lot right now. But we can deal with that in the next step. For now, feel free to experiment with the health manager settings. Start time with R3 to see your changes, then rewind it with L3 to reset the health manager. Once you're done, you can move on to the next step. An object doesn't automatically get destroyed when it runs out of health, so we need to do a bit more work before we can get rid of that block. Let's take a closer look at its health manager. If its tweak menu is still open, close that first with L1 and circle. See the output ports on its right edge. Hover over the one at the bottom, the one that has a heart with a cross over it. This is the no health output, which sends a signal when the health manager is depleted. It can be used to trigger any number of things, but right now, we're going to use it to destroy the block. Go to the assembly menu and take a look in the gadgets section. It may still be open from earlier, when you selected the health manager. Look for a skull icon on a button in the movers and output section and select it with X. This is the Destroyer gadget. It destroys whatever it's attached to. To attach it to the block, we can use Surface Snap. So hover the Destroyer over the block, hold L1 to make it Surface Snap, and press R2 or X to snap. Now you can unequip the Destroyer gadget with Circle. Okay, before we connect it up, let's just see if it works by clicking R3. Oh, it works all right. When time is running, the Destroyer activates and destroys the block. Rewind time
What's up, Guy Code?
R3 to bring it back. We don't want the Destroyer to activate until the block's health has run out. To do that, we'll need to connect the no health output port to the Destroyer's power. So hover your imp over the health manager's no health output port and press R2 or X to create a wire. This will make power ports appear on the gadgets in the scene. Stretch the wire over to the Destroyer and connect it to the power port with R2 or X. Great! Time to test it again with R3 and see what happens. When the block's health runs out, it will get destroyed, leaving the path clear for Connie. But how do we know how much health the block has left? We could always look at its tweak menu, but you can't see that in play mode. So hit L3 to rewind time, and I'll show you how to display health in the next step.
Cool. Let's do it.
If the
Make a
health
pig
manager's
game where you
tweak
can
menu isn't
reunite with
open
your
already,
family. I
open
might do
L1
that.
or
I might do
L1
that
and
for a
switch.
laugh.
When you hover over the menu sliders and buttons, you'll see ports popping out of the side. These work just like the ones on the outside of the gadget, but there are a lot more of them. And you might also have noticed that there's another gadget stamped on the side of the block. That's a number displayer. If we connect a wire from the current health output to the number displayer's input port, we'll be able to see the block's health count down in play mode. So let's go ahead and do that. Hover over the current health slider's output port. Then press R2 or X to create a wire and stretch it to the number displayer. Once you've connected it to its input with R2 or X, you can switch over to play mode and test out the whole scene so far. Excellent. Now we can see the block taking damage until it's destroyed. Once you can get Connie to the next platform, switch back to edit mode and move on to the next step.
This game, dude. This fucking game, bro. I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue on with this. We're almost done here. We got one more to go.
Well, Connie made it through, but she's a bit worse for wear. The burn effect you see on her is triggered by the current health output from her health manager. It gives you a visual cue of her health. The more singed she gets, the less health she has. I'm not sure poor Connie has enough health left to make it across the last bridge. What she needs is a bit of healing. So let's create a healing zone where she can recharge. This green pad looks like a good place to recover. We can turn it into a healing zone by placing a health modifier on it, using Surface Snap. You've used Surface Snap before, so this should be no problem. Go to the Assembly menu and select a health modifier from the Movers and Output menu. It's the one with the clockwork heart on it, remember? Now activate Surface Snap by holding L1.
I like that
Then
Surface Snap.
attach
It's
the
going to come in
health
handy.
modifier to the green pad. Now you can unequip the gadget with the circle button.
Already
and
done that.
Open the modifier's tweak menu.
All right.
We need to change it so it heals Connie. The health modifier is set to -100 by default, which won't do Connie any good. She has 100 health to start with, so that will take it all away and make her respawn. Grab the slider with X, drag it right, and set it to +20. We want the healing zone to heal Connie while she's standing on it, so you also need to set the modifier mode to continuous. You can leave the modifier type as impact, since you've snapped the health modifier to the platform. And that's all there is to it. Close the tweak menu with L1 and circle, and give it a try in play mode.
Don't mind if I do, bitch.
Alright, that should give Connie the health boost she needs to cross that final bridge. Oh, she's been through a lot today, so take her through the door to end this tutorial.
What's up, Coley? Girl sticker, car sticker. Oh, they give you like a bunch of stickers and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much basically about it, man. Like, as far as everything else goes, I mean, I'm gonna have to finish off all of these, but I'll definitely do that on my own, man. Because I still got a lot more to get through. But that's fine. I don't mind doing that. I'm almost gone through most of them. I still have a couple more I got to get through, but I've gone through quite a bit in this episode, man. Like this stuff here for motion controls, is actually not the same. I thought it was something to do with move controls, but it's actually not. This is actually something different. Yeah, like I have to go through that still to do the intermediate stuff, and then I got to go through this. Go through, I'll do this one real quick because I want to see how this music stuff works.
This tutorial is all about making music. Music can make your creations come alive, adding emotion and atmosphere. In Dreams, you can compose whole tracks from scratch and even make your own instruments. But you don't need to be a maestro to start making your own music. I'll show you how to create an arrangement using ready-made music clips. So let's begin. To start making music, switch over to sound mode. Right now, you're in assembly mode. If you're ever unsure of what mode you're in, just hover over the icon in the top left corner to see your current mode and tool. Go to the assembly menu and open the Modes menu with X. The Modes menu is where you access all the different creation modes. Each mode has its own set of tools and options. The button for sound mode has a speaker symbol on it.
Yeah, I heard about that guy, Code.
With
That shit's
X.
weird.
Now you have a new menu at the top of the screen. This is the sound menu. It contains everything you need to make your own music. In the scene, you'll see a timeline gadget. In the next step, I'll show you how to edit it. Music in Dreams is arranged in timelines. This timeline contains a version of the music you heard at the start of this tutorial. To see what's inside it, we need to open its canvas. Hover your imp over the timeline, hold L1 and press X to open it. It's just like scoping into
Whoa.
a group. This is the timeline canvas. The canvas exists within scene space, so if you pull down on the left stick, you'll back away from it. Hold the L1 button and use the left stick to move up and down the timeline. This is the best way to navigate around timelines, especially when they're big. This piece of music is called Connie's theme. To listen to it, just start time by clicking R3. See how the piece is composed of many music clips. The clips power on and off as the playhead passes over them. Click R3 again to pause time. Each music clip is a collection of notes made by an instrument. You can grab them and move them around with your imp. If you want to delete a music clip, hover over it and press the triangle button. Clips can also be cloned by holding L1 when you grab them. You can extend the timeline by hovering over one of its edges and holding X. The edge glows and an arrow icon appears.
Okay, that's pretty
You can
cool.
also extend the bottom if you need space for more clips. Once you've finished listening to the piece, click L3 to rewind time. You can find all sorts of different music by searching the Dreamiverse. To add music to one of your scenes, you could simply stamp a ready-made timeline, like this one. But in this tutorial, you'll learn how to assemble your own track from ready-made music clips. Move on to the next step and we'll get started. So, let's start making music. It's actually a lot easier than you might think. Close the timeline by selecting the cross button in the top right corner. Or hover over it, hold L1 and press circle to close it. Now delete the timeline by hovering over it with your imp and pressing triangle. Let's add a new music timeline to the scene.
Don't mind
Press
me.
square to open the sound menu. Select the music timeline button in the menu, then stamp one in the scene with R2 or X. Press circle to unequip the timeline gadget from your imp. Open up the timeline canvas with L1 and X. This timeline is empty, ready to be filled with music. The columns on the timeline represent musical bars. This timeline is 8 bars long. We'll need more space than that, so hover over the right edge and grab it with X. Extend the timeline to 16 bars.
Oh, wow.
Now let's add a music clip to the timeline. Press square to open the sound menu. Find the search button and select it with X. Its icon is the magnifying glass. When you search in sound mode, there are 4 options for finding different sounds. Select Search Music Clips with X. This is the Dreamiverse. Here you can find music made by other dream shapers. Well, usually you can, but for this tutorial, I've made a collection of elements for you to use. That's what this cluster is. Select it with X to open it. It contains a selection of music clips, which you can use to build your own arrangements. Use the right stick to zoom in and out, and the left stick to move around. I've grouped the clips into different categories. Let's start with a basic melody. That's this group of clips. Hover over the clips to hear a preview of how they sound. Find one that you like, then select it with X to equip it to your imp. I'm using the clip Nostalgia Bells.
Fuck your Nostalgia Bells, bitch.
Your imp will now be holding a gadget containing your selected clip. If you hover over the timeline, the gadget should snap to the canvas and reveal the whole clip. Place the clip at the start of the timeline and stamp it with R2 or X. Clips on a timeline will snap to the bars and to other clips. This will help you line them up. Click R3 to listen to the timeline. In the next step, we'll build up the track with some more clips. Click L3 to rewind time. Let's build on the melody by adding some chords. Go to the sound menu and select Search Music Clips again. Over here are some chord clips. Hover over the clips to preview them, then select one with X. I'm going with Suspended Pad, but you can make your own choice. Stamp your clip onto a new row of the timeline and snap it to the start. Click R3 to listen and notice how the clips play together in time. Click L3 to rewind. Now let's add some drums. Go back to the sound menu and select Search Music.
That's fucking awesome.
Find the drum clips in the collection. A drum beat can really change the feel of a track. I love these samba practice drums. Pick a drum clip you like, then stamp it onto the timeline under the melody and chords.
Oh.
Now click R3 to listen to how it sounds. All the clips in the collection are in the same time and key, so you can mix and match them easily.
That's fucking awesome.
Rewind. In the next step, I'll show you how to edit the length of your clips and how to add fades. When you hover over a clip on the timeline, you'll see dotted lines light up at the start and at the end of the clip. Move closer to the timeline so you can see them properly. These are trim handles. We can use them to change the length of a clip. Hover over the handle on the end of the drum clip, then hold R2 to grab it. These clips are loops, so you can extend the clip beyond its original length.
Nice.
All the clips in the collection can be extended in this way. Trim handles are really useful for arranging and remixing. They let you use just a section of a clip without having to edit the music notes inside. On top of the trim handle, you'll see a little colored gizmo. Move in closer to see it properly. This is a fade handle. You can use it to fade the volume of a clip in or out. It works just like the trim handle. Grab the gizmo with R2 and move your imp left or right to create a fade. try adding a fade out on the chord clip so it drops off gradually. Drag it out further for a longer fade. Now click R3 to run time. Doesn't that sound cool? You may have noticed that the music stops as soon as the playhead reaches the end of the timeline. In the next step, I'll show you how to make your timeline loop. Now click L3 to rewind. To make the track play constantly in the scene, we need to set the timeline to loop. We can do this in the Timeline's Tweak menu. Hover over a blank area of the timeline, hold L1 and press square to open its Tweak menu. In here we can change the timeline settings. Find the playback mode section. There are three options. Once means the timeline will play once all the way through when it's powered on. Sustain means the timeline will pause when it's powered off, then resume once it's powered on. Loop means the timeline will play repeatedly while it's powered on. Hover over the loop icon and press X to change the playback. You can also change the playback speed in the Tweak menu. Hover over the playback speed slider and hold X to grab it. Now move your IMP to the left or right to adjust the value. Click R3 to hear your adjustments live. You can also adjust the slider by hovering over it and pressing the up or down directional buttons. See how it sounds when it's slowed down or sped up a little. To close the Tweak menu, hover over it, hold L1 and press circle. You can also tweak music clips to make them loop. Just hover over them, hold L1 and press square to open their Tweak menus. You can also change their volume and tempo. Be careful changing the tempo, as your clips could go out of time with the others. We've made a cool piece of music, but you can carry on adding more clips if you want to. Maybe you heard something in a tutorial collection that would sound awesome in your arrangement. Try trimming and looping tracks. See what you can come up with. If you need extra space, you can extend the timeline by grabbing the edges with X. All the clips we've used in this tutorial come from the Media Molecule Music Collection. The collection contains lots of music clips you can use, as well as some complete tracks. Look for it in the Dreamiverse next time you're making music in sound mode. Once you've finished, switch over to play mode and listen to your track in the scene. To end the tutorial, just press Options and select the Exit Creation button.
There we go. So what I could technically do is I could technically move that to over here. And then that to over there. What's up, Ice Queen? That's fucking awesome, dude. I like that. I want to see about putting this right here. What's up, Beebs? How you doing, brother? Oh, I'm just learning it, man. I'm doing an actual tutorial. Yo, this shit is funky. I like it a latte. Now, if I wanted to, what I could do is I could take this, and then I could bring this over here. But what I could do is I can trim this bitch down. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. Right there. Ah, shit, that's not what I wanted to do. Yo, it's like Mario Paint all over again there, Borg. Wait, what the hell did I just do? Oh, there we go. That's awesome. How do I want to save this shit, man. I want to save it. Damn it, I probably can't. So what did this motherfucker say that I'm supposed to do now?
You've finished. Switch over to play mode and listen to your track in the scene.
Okay.
To end the tutorial, just press Options and select the Exit Creation button.
Where the fuck is my song? Where's my song, damn it? Oh. Yeah, we'll be done to that when that time comes. That's fucking dope, dude. That's fucking dope. So how the fuck do we get out of here now? Oh. Fuck, man. Now I'm gonna have to create that in fucking here. Alright, let me get this back to where it was here. I think it was, what, 30? Or something like that? 32? Something like that. I don't fucking know. Either way. Wrong button. Nope, not that. Shit. Ooh. Oh, give me that. I'll put that as my fucking time thing for that. Hey, I wonder how these two would sound if I were to go right here. Okay, I like that. I like the way that sounds, dude. What the fuck, bro? Alright. Well, actually, before I do that, this definitely needs to be copied, so I'll bring that over, put that there. Same with this as well. There we go. Now, let's see what else I can add here. Hey, I wonder how this would sound if I were to put this here and stretch this fucker out. You think it might sound alright there, Beeves? You fucking dipshit. I really don't care. Let's see how this sounds. Ooh, yeah! Look at that! That sounds fucking mint, man. Dude, I like that. I fucking like that a lot, bro. What the fuck, man? Alright, let's bring this actually over. Bring it over to 20. Bring this over to 20. Nope, I said 20, bitch. Thank you. Nope, I said 20, bitch. Thank you. And I'll bring this over as well. Now, after that, let's see what we got here. No. See what we got for bass here. Wait, what? You know what? That gives me an idea. I'll put that there for fucking 2 bars. And then after that, I will duplicate this. Oops. Slide this bitch on over. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. No, you little fucker. Oh, there we go. Slide this over a little bit more. There we go. Nope, I don't want that. There. There. And then this I can just strip over and put it over there. Alright, let's see how that sounds. If I were to extend that longer, then it might actually sound a little bit better, but right now it's a little too fucking small. It's a little too small. So let's move that back, and we'll stretch this out to there. And then I'll move all these ones back over to here, over to here. No, what the fuck did I just do? Oh, there we go. There we go. Now, I want to put something else here in the middle. How would that sound? Can I start from here? Here we go. Oh, I guess not. I can't start from there, I guess. There we go. You know what? That just gave me an idea. That just gave me a fucking idea, bro. I'm gonna move. Hold on. I'm gonna move this down just by a peg, and I'm actually gonna fucking stretch this across the entire rest of the way until the end of the song. There we go. Because that actually sounds pretty dope when it's in the background like that. Yeah. Damn it, it just like ends. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that actually. And then what I could do is I could stretch this little fucker out by an extra 2 notes. Why the fuck not, right? There you go. We'll just keep it like that. We'll just keep it like that. So now how do I save this? I don't know. I'll just call it fucking Fatal's Tune. Fuck it, whatever. I can remix it. Save version. I will save and release it to the public. I don't care. It's under music. Yep, that's fine. Boom. Yes. I like that, dude. Like, yo, I'm gonna have to tell Sick to add me, man. Oh, there is one other thing I forgot to do. Yo, I see Sick is really deep into that shit, eh? Alright, guys. I'm gonna get the fuck on out of here. I've already got one of my creations already fucking finally done, and that's my music track, which I'm kind of happy about, but I'm whatever. Fuck y'all, don't judge me. But whatever. I gotta rename that. there is one thing. Yeah, okay, it's already on regular fucking thing, so I don't care about that. I said fatal turn. I meant to say fuck. How do I fucking edit that? I don't think I can fix that, can I? Son of a bitch. I also want to save that to my PS4 as well. Oh, it already is. Yo, he's loving this shit, bro. What's his name on here? Does anybody know what 6 name is on here? Because I would really like to search for fucking activate on-screen text so you can text and search for something specific or someone specifically. Everyone. Hold on, he might actually have it in his description, actually, now that I think about it. PSN, okay, there we go. Really? Did he change his fucking PSN name or some shit? Hold on, maybe I have to do it a different way. Hold on. No, I didn't want to click on that, you fucking dip. Yo, man, have you guys seen the size of Sick Humor's fucking music thing, dude? God damn! That motherfucker is huge. That's what she said, but still. I need to find this motherfucker, bro. Unless he doesn't show up until he actually fucking uploads something. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, click on that, sick. And then upload it, man, because that way it might be able to find you that way. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out how to fucking. I'm trying to get him on, like, to get his attention, so that way I can add him on here. Kentucky fucking bitch ass chicken. No, but I need to know what his name is on here because I don't know if he changed his PSN profile name or not. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, see, like, the fact that you can create your own music, you can create your own fucking storyboards and shit like that to create your own, like, stories or series of stories, or create a fucking video game, dude. It's just insane. I'm telling you, a lot of people are gonna fucking sleep on this shit, dude. Hold on, let me mute this. Or turn this down a little bit. I think a lot of people are definitely going to sleep on this game, dude, like when it officially launches for like the people that didn't get into the actual early access of it. And that's a real crying shame, to be honest. Because I would love to see what people's imaginations could actually create in a game like this, man. I mean, seeing, like, it's not really that difficult to create something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, placing all your elements down, getting it look right, and then activating triggers and events and stuff like that, and then scripted events and all the other crazy shit. Like, there's so much you can do with this game. And, like, fucking Sam was saying at the very beginning of my actual stream, he brought up a good point, too, as well. I can actually see, like, young people making games, like, within this actual game itself. You know what I mean? To, like, spring to life, like, their own fucking originality and shit. Like, that's what I want to see, man. I don't want to see, like, fucking clones of shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that. I want to see originality, man. Like, that's what I want to see in a game like this. Ow. I don't think I could fucking rewind this stuff to get, like, no, he doesn't have a rewind functionality on his stream, so I'm gonna have to wait. or I might have to go and watch one of his other videos and do it from there. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I want to thank y'all for coming by. I know this was a long-ass stream, but I don't care, dude, man. I wanted to get as many of the actual tutorials done in this video, not only for myself to learn it, but on top of that, kind of show you guys a little bit more of an insight of like how deep this game is and like how it's not that difficult to actually want to create stuff like that. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of the tutorials myself, and then on the next episode, if I have if I have any more time on my phone, which reminds me, I should actually double check that real quick before I get off here. Ooh, yeah. All right, guys, I'm out of here, man. Have a good one, guys. Thank you all for coming out, and I'll see you guys here on the next one, man. Deuces.